There's a nonprofit group that owns an acre of land in Kelowna's downtown and has a desire to develop it. But rather than coming up with a plan and asking the community if they'd like it, they want to turn it all around. So a meeting is organized for February 16th at BNA behind me to ask the community, to ask the business community and neighbors what they would like to see.
The logical thing is to ask the community what they need, what their dreams, hopes, fears, and aspirations are. Rather than coming to them with a plan saying, hey, we've come up with something, we just want you to sign off on it and say you like it. Our client is saying, we actually want to know what would bring transformation and hope and what would be of value to the community. Why not actually ask them?
So, what we do know about your client is that they are a nonprofit and they've got property in the downtown. Am I right?
Yeah, they have a couple of pieces of property, one up in Rutland, one in the downtown. We recently had a forum in Rutland, very similar to the one we're about to hold in the downtown, where we invited members of the business community and the residential community to come along, and we had a bunch of themes that we asked them to give us some input on, and those themes matter to the social purpose landowner. And so, again, rather than having a fixed plan, we did have some structure and a little bit of a framework to say, in these areas, in these issues, what do you care about? What do you have needs for in your community?
Right. And you've got some interesting input from the Rutland property and that neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, certainly there was some surprises. I mean, obviously housing is a pertinent issue. And our client is fascinated to know about what housing opportunities there might be. But I think at the end of the day, there's a much deeper question to be asked to say what brings about transformation, what makes a community healthy and vital, and what are the needs. So one of the things that came out was the community would really love to have a community theater. There's a disproportionate amount of UBC students who live in the Rutland area because it's a bit more affordable in terms of rent. And so, but there's nowhere for them to gather or study together, or, there are coffee shops, but they don't want to sit there and buy multiple coffees all day long. So, and that's tough for coffee shop owners. They want a turnover so they have revenue rather than somebody taking up a table. So, having a student drop-in center or some kind of a community center where students can come and study together and they don't have the pressure to leave, that's of value to the community.
I think you mentioned part of this interview that they don't want to necessarily build a wet facility or anything of that nature. They want something else that might benefit the community at large.
Yeah, so our client is very much committed to benefiting the whole community, and multi-generational, children, families, all those things. So their sort of emphasis is to create space and some kind of opportunity for everybody to enjoy. So when it comes to housing, there's lots of great work being done, and there's lots of investment and monies coming for supportive housing or recovery housing or wet use facilities. That's not what this is about. This is about, if there is housing, it might be attainable. It might be sort of a little bit below market value, maybe it could be 30% below market value or something like that. We want to make it certainly affordable for young families, maybe, an individual who has maybe a single mom with her kids, but certainly we know that it's really hard to get into the ownership and even the rental market today. So it's got to be a benefit to a wide swath of the community.
So on February 16th, people show up and it's just kind of open choice. What do you suggest? You're just ready to hear input.
Yeah, so I think what's refreshing and what we believe we're called to do is to listen first. So many landowners and even developers probably come to the public when they have already a fairly well developed and established idea of what they want to build. We're sort of turning that process a little bit on its head, and we're saying, look, the slate is clean. Come, have a drink, have some food. Let's hear from you. Let's hear what your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations, your fears for the community are. We're going to give you a framework around some themes, but come and give us your honest feedback. And we're going to take that back to our client, and it's going to inform them about what they can do, obviously within the parameters of what the city allows and bylaws and so on. But it's going to inform them about what they can do that's going to have the greatest impact in our city.
Terrific. Thanks for telling us about it.
Thanks so much.